It's 7 o'clock right now. The Badgers had a hard-fought battle in Denver, but came up short. Zach will have highlights and reaction ahead. Plus, UW-Madison is looking to make cuts to its budget in this coming year. We'll share the reason why. And then later, sales of Nike shoes are in a slump as people look to save and buy more basic products. This is Weekend Mornings. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. I'm Kyle Pazorski. Thanks for joining us once again. Blaze, let's get to the forecast. What do we have in store for us today?
Well, we've already woken up to some rain, some snow, and that's going to continue as we go throughout your Sunday. We had a beautiful Saturday. Hopefully you got out and enjoyed the sunshine because today is going to be cloudy, breezy, and as I just mentioned, we're going to be dealing with this rain and snow throughout the day. Rain mainly across southwestern Wisconsin into northeastern Iowa and southeastern Minnesota. We find more of that rain-snow mix in and around La Crosse. Some light snow stretching from parts of Iowa County, Dodgeville, Mineral Point, all the way back north into Sauk County, Prairie du Sac, northwards into the Dells, all the way north into Saratoga, Stevens Point, Marshfield, Medford, dealing with that snow. It may be reaching the ground. We may have to get the atmosphere a little bit more saturated, but we're going to continue to primarily see most of that snow falling across northern and northeastern parts of Wisconsin as we go throughout the day. Some of that rain snow mix in and around Black River Falls. We also find some light rain there into Rochester, south into Austin as well. We're looking at 30s and 40s for temperatures on this Sunday. It's going to be breezy as well. Southerly winds gusting upwards of 30, 35 miles per hour, but most of us won't really see that rain snow mix until the evening hours because we're going to be well above freezing. It's further north and east into the Green Bay area that they're going to be dealing with most of that snow throughout the day. And coming up in the full forecast, we're going to talk about how much snow we could receive as we look ahead to the final full week of March in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. Taking a live look now at the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. That's one of the sites of the NCAA men's basketball tournament and a place where the Badger faithful came to support their team last night, but Bucky came up short of a Sweet 16 game, falling to BYU. Our Zach Hanley was there last night and has a reaction from the team following the heartbreaking loss.
This was the team to make a run. Doubted just about all year long, and every time Wisconsin proved them wrong. And the Badgers had another opportunity to do so with a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line. Greg Gard's squad hasn't been back since 2017, just have to get past BYU, and they had some work to do. Down by as many as 14, but these guys never quit. Max Klesmit dials one up from deep, and it's a 4-point game. And John Tonje did everything he could to bring Wisconsin back. That triple makes it a 5-point game with just 1 minute and 16 seconds left. And then it's Tonje again to the cup for 2 plus 1. That makes it a 3-point game.
What a ball game he's having.
But that's the closest they'd get. Wisconsin's season comes to an end, 91-89.
Being a kid from Wisconsin, you see Wisconsin, the W everywhere. You see the red and white everywhere. It meant a lot. You know, a lot of people didn't have us getting to this position that we were in today. And it just goes to show, like, this team is special. What's coming to Wisconsin, you come here to win. You come here to be in these big games. And it just means a lot to be a Badger, you know.
Forever indebted to Coach Gard and his staff for, recruiting me and bringing me back. Like, I got to have my family here for these 2 games. Like, that means a lot to me. Like, it might not mean that much to other people to have, like, family here, people you care about here. But, like, that's stuff that, I appreciate a lot. Like, I can reflect on. But I'm just so grateful looking back at my time for everybody I met, for everybody I came across.
Dream come true and then some. I mean, doesn't seem real that it's over, but I grew as a player, but even more as a man, and I was blessed to have 15 best friends every single year here as my teammates.
A tough way for a season to come to an end, but what a run it was for a team that was picked to finish 12th in the Big Ten. These guys never quit. At Ball Arena, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
And thank you, Zach. A reminder again that even though Wisconsin is now out of this tournament, there's still much to watch on CBS with March Madness coverage. Their coverage picks up again today with number 8 UConn versus number 1 Florida taking place at 11:10 here on WIC Madison and WKBT TV La Crosse. Some other stories we are continuing to follow. On Friday night, President Donald Trump gave his endorsement to one of the candidates running for Wisconsin's Supreme Court. Wisconsin's former Attorney General Brad Schimel is running as the conservative for the April election, gaining the president's approval. His opponent, Susan Crawford, on Friday responded by calling Schimel a, quote, corrupt politician. The April 1st election is now just about a week away, the winner of which will determine if this court remains under liberal control or flips to a conservative majority. The University of Wisconsin-Madison is requesting that all schools, colleges, and administrative divisions develop scenarios in the event of a 5 to 10% budget reduction in 2026. University leaders are also looking to reduce non-essential spending, including travel, supplies, equipment, and events. Department heads will further need to review vacant positions to see if they need to be filled or not. These financial actions come after Congress passed an appropriation bill to keep the government funded. Another one that has a deadline in September could lead to additional federal funding cuts to research and programs. A hearing for Morgan Geiser, one of the girls involved in the 2014 Slenderman stabbing case, was canceled on Friday. WTMJ Radio reporting that Wisconsin Community Services is still working on Geiser's conditional release plan, which will transition her from Winnebago Mental Health Institute to a group home. Geiser has lived at the Health Institute since 2017. The review hearing will now take place on April 28th. An investigation is underway after a mass shooting at a park in southwestern New Mexico. Police say the gunfire erupted Friday night at an unsanctioned car show in Las Cruces. Investigators say a fight broke out between two groups, leading to the gunfire. The shooting killed 3 teenagers and injured 15 other people.
But I want to ask the community to gather together, to stand strong and united as we try to heal and face this tragic event that took place in our city.
Police say the people injured range in age from 16 to 36 years old, and so far no one is in custody, but police say they are following several leads. Pope Francis is heading on back home. Doctors announced Saturday that the 88-year-old pontiff is set to be discharged from Rome's Gemelli Hospital today. He has been there for 38 days, where he was being treated for double pneumonia. Doctors say he will continue to recover at Casa Santa Marta, which is his residence at the Vatican.
The Holy Father will be discharged tomorrow, as we said before, in a stable clinical condition with a prescription to partially continue drug therapy and a convalescence and rest period at least 2 months.
The Pope will also need to continue the same kind of treatment that he received at the hospital as he moves forward. Back in the U.S., Kitty Dukakis, the wife of former Massachusetts governor and 1988 Democratic presidential nominee Michael Dukakis, has passed away. In a statement, her family says Dukakis died at her Massachusetts home Friday night. According to her son, the cause was from complications with dementia. Dukakis became a fixture on the campaign trail after her husband became the Democratic nominee for president. She also spoke openly about her struggles with depression and addiction and wrote 2 books about her experiences. Kitty Dukakis was 88 years old. The largest shoemaker in the world is in a bit of a slump right now, with Nike announcing this past week, that its global sales have fallen 9%. This includes a 17% drop in China, as well as a 9% drop here in North America, the company's largest market. The sports apparel giant has seen its stock drop 30% over the past year. More consumers are passing up on these pricey types of shoes these days, as well as athletic attire in exchange for cost-effective basics. Well, next this morning on the Health Watch, CBS's Michael George explains why back pain is so hard to treat, plus the impact of abortion laws on the health of babies.
States that passed restrictive abortion laws are seeing a rise in babies born with serious heart defects. A study by the American College of Cardiology found an increase in congenital heart defect births after the Dobbs decision, which overturned the federal right to abortion. Around 15 to 20% of babies with congenital heart defects die within the first year, and many need lifelong health care. Back pain is one of the hardest ailments to treat. A new study published in the British Medical Journal found only 1 in 10 common non-surgical, non-invasive treatments for lower back pain actually works. Non-surgical treatments include procedures such as acupuncture, spinal manipulation, massage, and opioids. Researchers say with so many options, it's difficult for patients to know what's effective. And why don't we keep our memories of being a baby? A new study by Yale tested the memories of infants and found their brains can retain memories just like an adult. One possible reason we forget infanthood is that the memories aren't converted into long-term storage. Another possibility is the memories do remain into adulthood, but we can't access them. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News.
Time now is 7:10, still ahead. Blaze is back with a full check of the first warn forecast, tracking out some rain and snow mix in the northern parts of the viewing area. Weekend Mornings is back in a bit.
After plenty of sunshine on Saturday, we're getting ready for the rain-snow mix that has already begun to fall across parts of Wisconsin. That's going to continue as we go throughout your Sunday. It's going to be breezy as well, maybe an isolated weak thunderstorm further south. Tonight, that rain-snow mix will begin to exit, leaving us with more breezy conditions and eventually more sunshine to end our Monday. We find rain mainly across northeastern parts of Iowa. That's going to slide into southwestern parts of Wisconsin, already dealing with some rain and maybe some light rain snow mix just north of La Crosse into the Black River Falls area, back into Eau Claire, all the way south into Madison. We see it here marked by the blue. That's that light to moderate snow that's going to continue to fall as we go throughout the day. Compared to yesterday, we're waking up anywhere between really 10 to about 20, 25 degrees warmer, and that's because of southerly winds. We're almost 30 degrees warmer than the same time waking up yesterday morning in Red Wing. So it's all because of this low pressure system right here. Southerly winds are going to continue to pull up that warmth from parts of the Mississippi River Valley, as well as some of this moisture as well. In and around the Rhinelander area, back into Green Bay, this is where the snow is likely going to be falling throughout most of the day. Watch as they continue to sit with that blue. Winds off of Lake Michigan are going to bring in some lake effect snow to that area as well. But south of that, we're dealing with more of that rain snow mix and actually just rain, marked by the greens and the yellows there. It's right about 5, 6 o'clock tonight that those winds eventually turn out of the northwest, and that's going to bring down the cooler air. That's going to turn any remaining rain back over to a rain-snow mix. That's probably when southern Wisconsin is likely going to see our best chance for snow. But they're still going to be dealing with those snow showers even into the start of Monday. Green Bay, Rhinelander, back into northeastern parts of Wisconsin. That eventually moves off towards the east as we go into your Monday afternoon. Already starting to see some sunshine, La Crosse, south along the Mississippi River, into Dubuque, into southwestern Wisconsin. In terms of snow, Rhinelander's looking at about a half a foot of snow, if not more. Green Bay, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Once you get into the Madison area southwards, we're lucky if we're going to get an inch of snow. If we see that changeover happen sooner rather than later, we may pick up about an inch in the Madison area northwards, but I think we're going to continue to stay too warm for too long. So more of the rain than the snow. And where they're expecting that heaviest snow, that's where we find the winter storm warning in the pink. In the purple here, that's the winter weather advisory through 1 a.m. on Monday for not only the snow, but the breezy conditions as well. Southerly winds turning out of the northwest will be gusting upwards of 30 to eventually 40 miles per hour. 30s and 40s today. We're looking at actually a pretty wet 7 to 10 day forecast, especially the second half of next week. That's when another system looks to move out of the plains and bring us another round of rain and warmer temperatures starting Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So we get a little bit of a break there, I would say later Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we gear up for that next round of rain beginning Friday through the upcoming weekend.
Blaze, thank you. President Trump is demanding an apology from Maine's Democratic Governor Janet Mills over their dispute over transgender athletes. The testy encounter took place at the National Governors Association winter event this past month. Trump threatened to strip the state of its federal funding at that time if it refuses to comply with his executive order of banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. Mills responded with a simple quote, "See you in court." In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote that while the state of Maine apologized, he has not heard from Governor Mills and is demanding a, quote, full-throated apology. Well, staying in Washington now, FBI Director Kash Patel is planning a major cutback to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. 3 people who have been briefed on the plan say that Patel has outlined plans to move as many as 100,000, or rather, that's 1,000 ATF agents to the FBI. Patel also serves as the acting director of the ATF. This move would cut ATF agents by more than a third nationally. The agency has roughly 2,600 agents, more than 5,000 employees as well. One source says the move is expected to begin with the reassessment of a couple hundred ATF agents to the border and some related duties there as FBI agents. Around Wisconsin now, a pair of river otters are getting attention after they escaped from a zoo. Emily Matzik has more.
The North American river otter display at the new zoo is empty. Louie and Ophelia escaping Thursday morning as snow from Winter Storm Ezra fell across the region. The conditions exactly what the species like.
They managed to find a place where there was just a little break in that fence and made it just large enough for an otter to sneak through.
Zoo staff quickly realizing the pair was on the run.
They look to have had a great time. They were very busy sliding down hills, romping around, lots of belly slide marks.
With their newfound freedom, tracks confirming the pair left the immediate zoo grounds. Zoo officials saying the 1,600 acres of space around the zoo, including the nearby reforestation camp, is an attractive habitat for the otters to roam. Tracks and zoo cameras both inside and outside the perimeter showing the two exploring nearby woods and the adventure park.
And one thing we can see from the tracks, they kept circling back here, and that makes me feel good. That makes me know that they're not scared and lost. They're out exploring. They know where home is. They're checking back in.
Known to be territorial, the pair probably won't leave the immediate area. Live traps and some of their favorite foods are being set out, hoping to lure the two back home. Native to the area, the river otters are not only comfortable in the wild, but they're also capable of surviving. And they're not believed to be a danger to the public either. The zoo would simply like to have the two home.
Most zoo animals would prefer to come where life is easy. So we are very hopeful that they'll eventually come home.
Now, zoo officials further say they do currently have measures in place to hopefully bring Louie and Ophelia home soon. It is now 7:20, still ahead. The Bucks get a slow start in their game in Sacramento Saturday, but could they pull it off? We'll have the details next. Plus, here's a look at today's day in history.
We're waking up in the 30s and the 40s, almost near 50 right now out there in Prairie du Chien. We've got some southerly winds going to keep us on the warmer side today, upper 20s in Wausau. We're dealing with the rain snow mix already this morning as well as just rain, and we're going to continue to deal with that throughout the day today. Also, our southerly winds are going to be picking up in speed, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. You can check the latest radar by downloading our First Warn weather app and using the radar there. You can zoom all the way down to the street level. We'll talk snow totals in the full forecast.
Got some sports news. The Milwaukee Bucks traveled to Sacramento Saturday and had a bit of a sluggish start as they looked to beat the Kings, who have lost 6 of their past 8. At the end of one, Milwaukee was down 25-17 and fell further behind in the early third period, down 14. They did eventually find their groove, getting into the nice rhythm. Giannis had 32 points and 17 rebounds, and Brook Lopez helped out, getting 21. The Bucks swept the season series with the Kings with a 114-108 victory. The Bucks will next go to Phoenix to face off the Suns on Monday. For the Wisconsin women's hockey team, they are looking to cap off a season with a championship today. But ahead of the matchup with Ohio, the NCAA first announced their player of the year. Andrew Bansha shares that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2025 Patty Kazmaier Memorial Award.
Each year, the Patty Kazmaier Award is given to the nation's best women's college hockey player. And this year, all three finalists were Wisconsin Badgers. Layla Edwards and Caroline Harvey watched on as their teammate, Casey O'Brien, after a historic season, leading the nation in points per game and setting nearly every record in the Badgers' book, was named the nation's best player.
Thank you to our fans, the very best in college hockey, hands down. Playing at LeBron is magical because of you. We and our families are grateful for your friendships and support. To my brothers, Jack and Max, thank you for leading the way, pumping up my tires when I needed a boost, and deflating them when I needed that too.
On Sunday, O'Brien will look for a different kind of hat trick, winning her third national championship at Wisconsin. We'll have more on the title game coming up later in sports. For now in Minneapolis, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
And puck drop is set for 3 and will air on ESPNU for that Ohio versus Wisconsin matchup. Stick around. Up next, we got another look at today's top headlines this week in mornings. At 7:30 right now, the Badgers lose to BYU in the men's NCAA tournament. Got reaction this half hour from the team on their season. Plus, Pope Francis is set to leave the hospital today. We'll have an update on his condition from Rome. This is Weekend Mornings. Thanks for joining us. It's Sunday, March the 23rd. I'm Kyle Pazorski. And let's get to the first warn forecast. Blaze Keller in for Jacob this morning. Hi, Blaze.
Hello. Already starting out your Sunday with some rain, some snow, and a mix of both after a very sunny and very pleasant Saturday. Snow stretching from Wausau all the way back into the Madison area with maybe a few flakes there into parts of Greene as well as Lafayette counties. And that's where we'll start it off first. Into the Dodgeville area, a few flurries mixing in with some rain. Back into Sauk City, Dodgeville, as I mentioned, Lone Rock as well. North through Prairie du Sac all the way into Medford and Ruby, back west into Eau Claire, Wausau, Stevens Point, dealing with those light to moderate rain, snow showers. Black River Falls, that's where we're starting to see that rain turn over to that mix, or at the very least some snow. But for the most part, it looks like it's staying mostly liquid around Black River Falls and into La Crosse. We also find some light rain activity back into southeastern Minnesota as well as northeastern Iowa. La Crosse, we're dealing with some of those rain showers as well. We're going to continue to deal with these rain showers, turning over to a rain-snow mix as we go throughout the day, especially into the afternoon. But we're starting out in the upper 30s to low to mid 40s. We're actually near 50 right now in Prairie du Chien, 45 for our starting out temperature in La Crosse, 37 in the Dells, as well as in Madison and Janesville as well, where that snow is falling, upper 20s to low 30s. We're going to talk potential snow totals by the end of the weekend and into the start of your next work week in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Blaze. All right, topping our news, the Wisconsin Badgers had a tough battle in Denver last night, facing off against the BYU Cougars, but it did not end the way Wisconsin had hoped it would. Both teams looking to make it to the Sweet 16, something that for Wisconsin hasn't been done since 2017. At one point, Bucky was down by as much as 14. The closest they came was within 3 points towards the end of the game. The final score was 91-89 BYU. The late effort proving to fans as well as themselves that Wisconsin was not going to come all this way just to quit.
It meant a lot. You know, a lot of people didn't have us getting to this position that we were in today. And it just goes to show, like, this team is special.
Wisconsin was picked to only finish 12th in the Big Ten at the beginning of the season. Back here in Madison, the University of Wisconsin is requesting that all schools, colleges, and administrative divisions develop scenarios in the event of a 5 to 10% budget reduction in 2026. University leaders are also looking to reduce non-essential spending, including travel, supplies, equipment, and events. Department heads will further need to request vacant positions, or rather review those vacant positions to see if they are in need to be filled or not. These financial actions come after Congress passed an appropriation bill to keep the government funded. Another one is set for September, could lead to additional cuts to research and programs. President Donald Trump has endorsed one of the candidates running for Wisconsin Supreme Court. You're seeing him there. Former Attorney General Brad Schimel is running as the conservative for the April election. And this all coming as a group funded by Elon Musk is now offering Wisconsin voters $100 to sign a petition in opposition to, quote, activist judges. The April 1st election is now just a week and 1 day away. Taking a live look now at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. After a 5-week hospital stay, Pope Francis is making his first public appearance today. He is being discharged after treatment for double pneumonia and acute respiratory failure. And as CBS's Christian Benavides reports, the road to recovery is not over.
Prior to being discharged, Pope Francis is set to appear in public today for the first time since his hospital stay for double pneumonia. The Vatican announced the Holy Father will bless the faithful from his 10th floor suite at the hospital, his first live appearance since being admitted last month.
The Holy Father, at the time of his admission to Gemelli Hospital, presented an acute respiratory failure.
He is returning to his residence, Santa Marta, at the Vatican. Catholics around the world have rejoiced, from Rome to his native Argentina. Up until today, this picture of Francis celebrating Mass at a small chapel inside Gemelli Hospital was the most recent image of the pontiff, and this recorded message, thanking for prayers, was the last time we'd heard from Pope Francis. This hospitalization was marked by a roller coaster of setbacks, including respiratory crises, mild kidney failure, and several coughing fits. The road to recovery will be a long one. The medical director at Gemelli Hospital said during his stay, Francis twice presented critical episodes during which his life was in danger.
The Holy Father was never intubated, and he always remained alert and oriented.
Doctors say the Pope will need continued speech therapy after prolonged use of high-flow oxygen and will need at least 2 months of rest and rehabilitation after he returns to the Vatican. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
During his hospital stay, the church celebrated the 12th anniversary of Francis's papacy. The Argentinian Pope is prone to respiratory illnesses as he had part of his lung removed as a young man. Back in Wisconsin, the State Department of Transportation is now offering students between the ages of 15 to 17 the opportunity to take the driver's license knowledge test from home and with parental supervision. The knowledge test is a 2-part exam that covers the rules of the road as well as signage. The new online version will be available to students who have completed the classroom portion of their training. The Wisconsin DMV is joining now 11 other states in providing an online option. To find more information about this change, just go to channel3000.com. Still ahead on Weekend Mornings, Kyron Lee has a conversation on ways to improve your mindfulness by meditating. Stick with us.
Temperatures ranging from the upper 20s to the upper 40s on this Sunday morning. A lot warmer than where we were starting out yesterday, but we're dealing with the rain, the snow, and the mix of both already this morning. 45 in Red Wing, 28 Wausau, 35 Camp Douglas, 37 Dell, stretching south into Janesville. We're at 47 this morning. In Prairie du Chien, winds all out of the south, and they're starting to pick up in speed, and they're going to remain breezy as we go throughout the rest of your Sunday. Scattered showers for the most part throughout your day today. Maybe an isolated weak thunderstorm further to the south and further to the north and east. We're going to be dealing with more of that snow throughout the day. Green Bay, Rhinelander, they're expecting anywhere between 4 to maybe 6, 8 inches of that wet, heavy snow. We're going to take a look at who's underneath the winter storm warnings, the winter weather advisories, what we can expect for your Monday, and obviously talk about possible snow totals by the time we end your Sunday going into Monday. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Meditation and mindfulness, well, they've been in the news and trending on social media for several years now. And one technique that continues to be popular is breath work, helping to achieve those goals of clearing up your mind. Kyron Lee sits down with Dr. Rupa Shah this morning to show us how it all works.
Dr. Shah is joining us to dive a little deeper into how breath work works. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So what are the physical benefits of breath work?
Yeah, so I mean, at its most basic, really, when we're doing that deep, slow breathing, we're bringing more oxygen into our body, but it obviously goes deeper than that. Really, what it's doing is really calming down our nervous system. We're always kind of in this state of like what we call that fight or flight response. We're always, you know, kind of functioning up here in this world of chaos and stress. So what breath work really does is it helps kind of reverse that and dial that down and calm us down. So it can help reduce stress. It can help reduce our blood pressure. It can even help just bring our hormones a little bit more into balance at kind of a more deeper level too. So it's a really great idea to, if you've never had a breathwork practice, if you've got a high stress job or life, to really incorporate that into your daily life.
So it's really helping our bodies here.
It really is. It's telling our brains everything is okay. You can be calm, and it can just kind of help like lower that stress for you. Just telling your body that there's no danger, you know? So,
Right. And so breath work, real intentional. Can we practice a few?
We certainly can.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
What's first?
So, okay, just a real simple, easy one. Just abdominal breathing. A lot of times in our life, we're just doing this like belly breathing all day long. And so in this process, you can just kind of close your eyes gently. And you can just, even if you want, you can put one hand like on your chest and on your belly. And then take a nice deep breath in, but filling up your chest and belly like a balloon. So you're expanding. And then just hold it for a second, and then just exhale really nice and slowly. Yep, and just let all the air out of your chest and your abdomen. And you can repeat that a few times. Usually if you do it like 4 or 5 times in a cycle, it's really gonna just feel a little bit calmer during your day.
Very relaxing.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't realize how tense you are until you do something like this.
Until you actually try it, right? Yeah. Yep. Another common one that is used kind of in yogic breath work and stuff too is called alternate nostril breathing. A little bit more complicated, but basically you take your thumb and your fourth finger.
Okay.
And you can kind of, and you can put these 2 fingers right here, just kind of on that third eye. You cover your right nostril with your thumb.
Okay, wait, your right nostril with your thumb, okay.
Yep. And then, so kind of like this, just kind of push it. Yep, push it close, yep. And you can put these 2 here and then cover this, okay? And then uncover your right nostril, take a deep breath in through your right. Cover your right nostril, hold it. And then exhale through the left side. Yep. And then take a deep breath in through the left. Cover your left nostril, hold it, and exhale through the right. And then you would repeat that, maybe like a series of 4 to 6 times as well. Okay. And that's a really powerful method just to help calm that nervous system too.
Yeah, gets the mind real, relaxed and such. Good.
Especially if you kind of do a few cycles of it. And then the last one that's really nice too that I like, and sometimes I'll use this at work just because it's quick and easy too, but it's called box breathing. So this might be a common one you might have heard of too, but same kind of concept as like the first abdominal breathing that we did.
Right.
But you just kind of just use four breaths basically, or 4 beats as you're holding your breath. So you would, again, just kind of close your eyes, take a deep breath in for 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale really slowly for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can repeat that 4 times, just like a square. And as you kind of do that a few times, you will definitely feel the difference before and after. Yeah.
So I feel more relaxed just even after a few minutes of the segment.
Exactly. Oh, good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Shah, before we go, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And next this morning, we go back to Blaze with another full check of the First Warn forecast with some rain expected for part of your day. Stick with us.
We have got some rain, some snow, and a mix of both already this morning, and that really is going to continue as we go throughout the rest of your Sunday. We talked about this yesterday and in the days leading up to Sunday. This is our latest weather system that's going to be moving through the Midwest, and as I mentioned, already bringing rain to the Mississippi River Valley, into the La Crosse area, back north and eastward. That's where we find more of that snow, but some of those flakes making it to the ground around Darlington, Monroe, back into western parts of Dane County, Mount Horeb, Dodgeville as well, Prairie du Sac, Lone Rock, Platteville, Boscobel, Richland County. We're dealing with more of that rain activity. Black River Falls beginning to see that rain turn over to the rain-snow mix. We've got snow stretching all the way north into Wausau, Medford, even beginning to move some of those flurries into the Rhinelander area. Back into southeastern Minnesota and northeastern Iowa, the rain as temperatures are sitting in those mid to upper 40s, from Red Wing stretching all the way south into Oelwein, 44 Platteville, 47 starting out in Prairie du Chien, 37 in the Dells, Madison, Janesville, we're now up to 39. 29 though in Wausau. They're expecting more of that snow throughout the day today, and that's where we find most of our winter weather alerts. This is our latest system to move through the Midwest. It's pulling up moisture from the Gulf, but we're going to be dealing with these southerly winds throughout the day today. So that's going to keep the precipitation more on the liquid side for a lot of the forecast area. Winds coming off of Lake Michigan, going to mean some lake effect snow for parts of northeastern Wisconsin. Green Bay, Rhinelander, as I mentioned, going to be probably accumulating 4, 6, maybe even 8 inches of that snow. We'll finally start to see that rain turn over to the rain-snow mix as we head further into your evening and overnight hours, once those northwesterly winds take on over and start to move down some of that cooler air. They're going to be dealing with those snow showers as we go into the early morning hours on Monday. Can't rule out a few flurries, especially to start off the day on Monday, but further north and east, because you're closer to the center of that low pressure system, you're going to be dealing with not only the cloud cover for more of your Monday, but also the better chance for those snow showers and flurries as well. There's a look at those possible snow totals. As I mentioned, Green Bay, Rhinelander, northeastern Wisconsin, anywhere between 4 to maybe 8 inches of snow. And this is going to be that wet, heavy snow too, because it's coming off of Lake Michigan. Also, there's a lot of moisture with this system as well. Winter storm warning and winter weather advisories in the purple and the pink through the morning hours on your Monday. So not seeing that in our forecast area, meaning we're likely not going to be dealing with the worst of the worst conditions. But again, breezy conditions and some snow as we go overnight into your Monday can't be ruled out. We could see about an inch of snow in the Madison area if we cool down sooner rather than later. But for now, it looks like we're going to be dealing primarily with that rain, along with maybe a weak thunderstorm as well. Hit or miss chances for showers Tuesday, Wednesday, but the best chance for moisture returns as we look to end your final week of March, going into that last full weekend. And that could be the same for the La Crosse area as well. So we'll keep those daily chances for a shower or two as we go into the middle of next week. In the La Crosse area, we're at 50 by Thursday.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Still ahead, it is a day to celebrate our furry four-legged friends. Plus, here's a look at what's to come on For the Record.
Hey, Kyle. Yeah, a familiar face on For the Record this morning. Coming up, we'll have Ellie LaLiberte break down the one and only debate for the race for state superintendent. We'll also take a look at women's history and sports as we're in March Madness right now, with the impact of women's sports in Wisconsin, as well as the upcoming Trans Day of Visibility. That's ahead this morning at 10:30.
Well, finally this morning, if you have a newborn puppy in your household, well, it's time to celebrate them, as today is National Puppy Day. The day was created back in 2006 by pet lifestyle expert Colleen Page as a way to bring awareness to the number of dogs that need permanent homes. Right now, the ASPCA says roughly 3.3 million dogs enter shelters every year. And advocates say anyone looking for a puppy should first consider adopting one from a shelter. Cute stuff, right, Blaze?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to go home and
Yeah.
Snuggle with them and take a little nap. But that's why I like Thursdays, because we do the potentially yours and
right.
Puppies, older dogs too, who
Puppies
need love.
are just cute.
They are.
My parents got one last year.
Oh, what kind?
It's adorable.
What breed?
Oh, it's a chocolate lab.
Labs are adorable puppies.
It's a very cute dog.
Oh my god.
They named it Izzy. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Now, for the dogs across southern Wisconsin, it is going to be a bit of a wet day. So if you're going to take them out, you may want to keep them out of the mud. So, snow and rain already this morning, and we're going to continue to sit underneath the 40s for your day today. It will be breezy. There is a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast.